So how can you prevent this relay attack? Hey guys, it's Nate. Welcome back to the channel. So today I thought we'd talk about why these cars are stolen so often and what you can do to maybe reduce the chances of your car getting stolen or parts of your car getting stolen. And so before we get on this ride, you can see, I don't know if you guys can see in the video, but I got my Hellcat shirt on. So we're ready to roll. Gotta make that traffic light. All right. Did it. Another reason why you should get a Hellcat. Never miss a traffic light. All right, so why are these cars such a target for thieves? Well, I mean, first of all, look at it. I mean, wouldn't you want to steal one of these cars if you were a thief? Yeah, I mean, there's probably people that joyride these cars. I think that's probably a very small percentage of actual thefts. I don't think people take that risk. Like, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna go steal a Hellcat because I want to take it for a joyride. Let's go test drive one at your dealership, I guess. But think about it, this chassis that underpins the Challenger, because it's not just Hellcats, right? It's Challengers, Chargers, probably 300s even, that are targets for thieves. This chassis has been around since the early 2000s. So there's probably a ton of parts in this car that you could take and you have a large resale market, because these are popular cars. They've been popular for what, almost 2 decades, and there you have it. You have a pretty large market for your stolen parts on the secondary market. So I think that's probably a really large reason for why these cars are stolen so much, is just strip them down for parts. There was a story about a guy he had bought like I think it was a super stock, and his car got stolen, and he recovered it like a year or something later. They found it and it hadn't been stripped down for parts, and he got his car. It was just in a pretty rough condition, as you can imagine. Someone that doesn't earn something like this and they steal it, they're probably not going to treat it with the same TLC that you would. I mean, it just sucks, right? You work for something really hard and then they get stolen, and you're like, well, that's what insurance is for. Yeah, well, have you ever tried to file an insurance claim for something that's been totaled or something that's been stolen? You're always going to lose money. Even with gap insurance, you're always going to lose money, because the insurance companies, they're going to pay you whatever your depreciated value is. They're not going to pay you what you think the car's worth, or potentially what you could even replace that car for. You can argue with the insurance company, you can do whatever, but they got a lot more lawyers than you've got. So yeah, that sucks. So yeah, so I think those are 2 reasons: joyriding and parts. Now, the other reason I think that maybe it's easier to steal these cars, I'm not sure if you guys remember, there was a Top Gear episode, gosh, must have been like 10 years ago when the Challenger first came out, where those 3 guys, they took out like all the different cars. I remember, who's that guy, man? The short guy, right? That he really loves American muscle cars. He had brought a Challenger to it, and then Jeremy like stole it, right? Stole it in terms of he moved the car somewhere else. And he was able to do that with the key still sitting inside the restaurant. Now, I don't know if they, you know, maybe it was dramatized or whatever, but he was able to move the car a little bit. And so I'm not sure if the keyless go system that they've been using ever since the Challengers first came out has evolved over time, or it's the same system, but maybe it's just really that easy to steal. Now, in my neighborhood, a problem we had was with wheel theft. I mean, we had some guy leave a note in our mailbox one time because he was like, hey, you know, this is happening in the neighborhood. Someone had stolen the wheels from his Porsche Cayenne or Macan while it was sitting in his driveway. And I've seen those posts on Nextdoor also, people stealing wheels out of their driveway. I think our neighbors one time, they had an Escalade, this was like a while ago, had their wheels stolen. And you think about it, right? Wheel theft or stolen wheels, pretty easy to fence on the secondary market, because again, there's a lot of people that, you know, maybe they want to upgrade their wheels, they want a different look. Maybe you bought a 2020 or 2017 Hellcat and you want the original 2015 wheels, or what, vice versa. Super easy to sell. No tracing for that stuff. So put your car in a garage or get a good pair of wheel locks. That's one thing I can tell you. Another thing that I think is kind of cool, so I haven't really had a chance to test it out. I had installed it on this car when I first got the device, and the first software wasn't that great. he sent some emails out saying the software got better over time, so I just haven't had a chance to try it out. But there's this thing called Bumper, BMMPR. It was on Kickstarter, I think that's where I bought it from. Essentially what it is, it's a little device that plugs into your ODB2 port, and it will send you an alert if it detects any movement. So it has, oh my gosh, what is this? Guys, that is a brand new Ford GT. I don't know why the dude just stopped in the middle of the road. I'm gonna assume that the car broke down, but wow, look at this thing. I mean, sucks that the car broke down, but wow, I haven't seen one of these new Ford GTs. Oh, this thing is gorgeous. This lady standing out, I guess she's trying to call AAA. Who would you even call if your brand new Ford GT got broken down? You call a dealership? You trust AAA to come out here, diagnose it, do a little jump start, electrocute your ass in the process? Honestly, if this car broke down, I don't even know if I'd call AAA. Try and diagnose it on the side of the road. Beautiful car, man. Hope you get it back up and running. That car is beautiful. Who knows? All these electronic things that are in cars these days, maybe something just shorted out or whatever. So yeah, this bumper thing, right? BMMPR. I don't know, it has like all these accelerometers, all this other stuff. If the car started, since it plugs into the ODB2 port, it kind of knows all of that stuff. And yeah, it sends you an alert to your phone through the app, or I guess text message or whatever, if it detects anything. So maybe you can react, right? I mean, it's probably more useful for someone that maybe lives in an apartment and you can get a notification if something happens to your car because you can't garage it. The other thing I would recommend, so given the keyless go system in this car, they have, and this applies to pretty much any car with this keyless go system, is they have, it's called like a relay attack or something. That's what I was reading. Oh, hold on, man. Oh my God, dude, what is going on today? This beautiful little, what's that, a Datsun? Yeah, there's some nice cars hanging out on the street today, fellas. Yeah, so this is that Datsun. Man, this Datsun is so nice. I don't know, I got a thing for old cars. That's why I bought the Challenger. It's like the perfect blend of old styling and new comforts. Well, today has been a visual treat. Man, I'm seeing nice cars today left and right. I gotta take more Sunday drives. Yeah, if you can't tell, I like all type of cars. I mean, put 4 wheels on it and the gas engine and I'm happy. All right, so this key thing, right? This relay attack, that's what we were talking about. So basically, what they will do is they'll come to your house, say your car's outside, and they will do this relay attack where they can basically just get the signal from your key fob that's inside, probably sitting by your door, wherever you keep it, and they will relay it to amplify that signal so that it makes it seem like they have the key fob, so you can get in the car and then they can start it. More sophisticated things I'm seeing nowadays is they're actually using a laptop connected to your ODB2 cable to start the car. I'm not sure the specifics. I'm not a thief. I'm not a car hacker. But all I know is that this is what I'm seeing is being reported for people stealing these cars. So yeah, the number one way that you can help kind of avoid that is put in a garage. That's not 100% foolproof either. But you gotta be careful if you put your car in a garage, is maybe you have a car that you keep out of your garage. And if that car has your garage remote into it, then, well, they could just open your garage and do the same thing. Less likely that they're gonna go through all of that headache, because security, at least in my opinion, is layers, right? Essentially, this isn't the only Hellcat or the only Challenger that's out there. There's a bunch of them. In terms of security, what you want to do is just make your car less desirable than the next guy's car, right, to steal. So you make it harder, right? So if you have these layers, maybe you have a gate around your property, or you have a garage, or you have dogs, you have security cameras. Those are just additional layers of security that can help prevent someone from targeting your car versus finding an easier target, a car that's just parked on the street. Maybe someone took it out to the beach, parked it in a parking lot, easier to steal from there. So how can you prevent this relay attack if you do have that? Is You know those, I don't know if you guys know, there are these bags that they usually ship hard drives in. They're anti-static bags. Take your key fob, put it in the anti-static bag, and that basically prevents all the signals from going out. You could also buy or build a Faraday cage. It seems like a little overkill, but you could do something like that. Maybe you have a little Faraday cage on your table by your door. Just put the key fob in there, close the box, and then no signals are getting in or out from there. Plus you can tell people you have a Faraday cage, right? To which they'll probably ask you, what is a Faraday cage? You know, it's a conversation starter. It's an icebreaker. So the other thing that Dodge announced, because I guess they're noticing also that this is becoming a problem. I think they've actually had cars stolen from their parking lot in the manufacturing plant up in Canada, is they're introducing something. I don't have it on this car. I do plan to get that installed. It's a software update apparently. They have something that you can install in this car that essentially gives you another drive mode. So it's like valet mode, which is pin secured, except this one will limit the car to, I think it's like 2 miles an hour. It's the lowest possible setting they could have put on the engine computer. They essentially just used what they already have and just gave it another profile. So if someone does steal your car, they're gonna be hobbling away at like 2 miles an hour, which is obviously not ideal. Just beware that, again, on that, I haven't tried it, but I think you may even be able to defeat the valet mode by resetting the battery or doing something like that. So maybe that same method is gonna work to defeat this. But again, it's another layer. It's just another hurdle, right, for someone to have to go through to steal your car. Worst case, they'll tow your car. If someone really wants your car, let's assume you've got something that's super desirable, maybe you put some aftermarket parts on it, and they really, really, really want your car, they'll just tow it away. Worst case scenario. So put it on a flatbed, tow it away. No one knows what happened. Your car's gone, stripped for parts before you may even report it in the morning. I did read that Dodge is going to be adding something to the newer Challengers. I don't think this is going to be retroactively available because it'll probably require some sensors in the car, that if it detects someone open the door or someone bumped the car, it'll start sounding the alarm. But again, I think that's only going to be on newer Challengers, and it's also maybe potentially be a paid feature. I don't know if that's going to be free. You could also buy your own alarm system. Had a coworker of mine, she had a 392, really nice 392. They took the car up to Orlando, woke up in the morning to knock on the door by police. Basically, their car was sitting on cinder blocks because they had stolen the wheels overnight. So they got an aftermarket alarm system, which has a ton of options in terms of what you can do to the car, or what kind of notifications you can have. And back in the day when I was looking at it, this is a while ago, they even had systems that could page you. Now it's probably smartphone enabled. So there's a lot of things you can do on the aftermarket side. So with that all said, you just got to take care of your own stuff. No one else is going to take care of your stuff. And just put the safeguards, those security layers in place that make it so that hopefully your car doesn't get stolen and you're stuck in a financial mess with whatever it takes to replace that car. You work hard for this stuff, you should be able to enjoy it without worrying, but that's the world that we live in. All right, hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Check out these next videos and I'll see you there. Thanks. Bye.